All right, we're in the Deep Sea 9-hole cup. All these holes are at Drew Moore Links. And we're on hole number 1. Hole number 1. So every single one of these holes, I really think that there's 3 holes that we're going to have to pick up 3 on a side. There's just, every hole's got an opportunity. Some of the holes you got to take a little bit of a risk to get that opportunity, but every hole has an opportunity to pick a shot up. And we're going to have to at least pick up 3 per side. I mean, it may be more. So this is definitely going to be, I think, 30. I think this is going to be kind of like the last tournament where 30 gets you up towards the top, and then anything you can pick up on that is giving you a shot. So hole number 1, we're going to start off on a par 4. I'm trying to get out into this area where I know that this is short iron range in here, and I usually end up somewhere like in this range, which is mid short iron, and I'm trying to push it either to get to minimum short iron or see if I can eke into my wedge. That's my goal. I'm going to see what the wind looks like. We're getting a headwind. I'm not sure that I know with a 3 power ball you can easily get out there, but I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can get farther out there, and it's probably going to be the extra mile because of the topspin. Let's see what I got for 4 power balls. That's a side topspin boost. That's a 3. This is a low wind. What we got? What's this one? Power 4. 2 wind. Let's try that one. Let's try the season 23 ball. We'll pop out a couple. Now let me make sure. I'm gonna shoot with my Kingfisher. I'm switching from my Hornet to my Kingfisher. Here we roll. Here we go. Hole number 1. No practice. I've been actually playing some Tour 5 and having a little bit of fun doing it. Making a few shots, winning some chests. Cowboy fan goes first. Are the Cowboys still playing? They got uniforms and everything. Now, this way from over here, I think coming into it, I could swear that coming into it there's a bump that you can do there, but it doesn't look like there's any rough, but maybe it's a rock bump. I could swear there was a bump over there that you could do. Hitting it perfect. Really curious to see what kind of angle, what kind of shot they have out there. They can get a little more distance. I think they left a lot on the table, or at least it looked like it. I'm going to go right for the center of that fairway. 3/4, about a ring and a half. I'm going to do about a ring and 3/4. Just taking the side wind out. A little teeny bit of curl to the left. Hitting it perfect. Let's see how far I can get up there. If I can make it over. If I can get the second bounce without clipping the rough. And have to bring out either a 5 power ball or hope that there's some kind of wind other than direct headwind. Pure side wind, any kind of tailwind, I think you can make that with it. You probably make it with a 3 power ball. But with headwind, power 5 or a low wind power 4. Thought I had like a 4-4-4. That would have been a perfect opportunity for a 4-4-4 right there. See if my opponent can get in the hole. See, there is a bump that you can do from right there. It doesn't show up on the, when you're looking at the overhead, it says thin. But there is a rough bump that you can do right there. It looks like you got a pretty good landing. Pretty good land. I've taken that shot. There was at least one tournament that I took it from that side, but I do like the shot from over here. Okay, there's Max. I'm at minimum Kingfisher. I'm going to play it at 2.2 per ring. Put on one backspin. Right up to it. 1.1 times 3.1 equals divided by 2.2. 1.55 rings. There's 1.5. I'm going to move it about 1.6. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. In the hole. And that was a pure side wind to the cup. So that was with a plus 10%. In the hole. So even hitting the rough out there, I got a little bit more distance than I normally do. But I'm going to continue to work that shot because I think there will be, maybe in the weekend round, we'll get some positive wind there and be able to get her in the hole. Hole number 2. Let's go check it out. Hole number 2. Drew more lengths. All right, we got a serious opportunity for hole in one here. All right, I'm going to set my calculator up. 1.15. I'm going to do a 15% wind adjustment. I'm taking a Grizzly. And I'm taking a Navigator. No, not a Quasar. A Navigator. Cut the wind down as low as I can. It's a 1 power. And I'm using about 2, maybe, I'm using less than 3 side spin. Somewhere between 2 and 3. I think I do have some power 0 balls here. Was that bigger one? No, that's a power 1. 4 side spin. I don't need that. I don't need the top spin boost. The wind resistance. I'm going to start off with a Quasar and I'll just use it. Here we roll. And I'm playing at mid club. No, I'm playing 1 per ring. Sorry. Half a backspin. Here we go. Let's go get a hole in one right here. I originally hated this hole, but the last few times we've had it in tournaments, I switched how I was playing it the second time I played it in a tournament, and I like it. I like it now. My opponent's getting... You can bring a backspin club like a Saturn, and you can do that. But the deal is that from that angle, if it, even if you hit it perfect and you miss the cup, the motion of the ball at that point, because of all the spin you're putting on it, is going to the left, and it has a tendency to get sucked off to the left. And once it starts going to the left, you're in big trouble. I hope my opponent doesn't have that happen to him, but it could. And they could sink it too. Let's see. Get in the hole. And you would think that if you put a bunch of backspin on it like that, that you could get it to stop right there. But it is easy to get in trouble on this hole. Okay, so wind 3.4, 3.91 rings. Right ring off. About a half a backspin. I'm going to dial. Dial it up. 3.91 rings. It'll be easier to push it. I need to turn my grid on. There's 1, 2, 3, 9, 1. Hitting it perfect. Well, see, that wind adjustment blew. Right there. And that was all on the wind adjustment. I need to turn my grid on so I can make a. That's as close as you can get to it. So it's way in the hell downhill. And you're not at max club, so you're probably at like mid club. And I'm playing it at max at one point. So, and adding on 15%. So if it's 1.1 at mid, what is it at mid? It's 1.1 at mid. So I'm actually adding on like 25%. It's way the hell downhill. You can't zoom in and actually make a super... First, let's turn the grid on. The test pattern. It's a draw. All right, hole number 3. Big par 5. Now, I brought out some, let's see which way the wind's blowing. Let's see which way the wind's blowing before I make any decisions. Okay, we got a pure side wind. I'm going to explore this with a power 5 ball and see what kind of shape I can get in out here. But if I don't think I can make it the distance to get over to it, I'm just going to hit it over to here and come straight at it. But we do have a great rough bump if you come over to this side. I'm gonna look at the far side first. So I want to bring 2 bags. One, I want to bring my rock in case I take the shot to the right, and it's gonna. I think the extra mile will work better just because it's got more topspin to get you out, even though the APOC has more raw distance. We'll see. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, if I go straight forward and make it to the other side, I think it's a grizzly shot in. Here we go. I want to do it. I'm gonna go out and practice the hole one time just to see what's possible as far as ball. So let's practice. Let's enter practice, and we'll do hole number 3, and we'll practice hole number 3. And Ricky, practice now. Hole number 3. See if I can get matched up. Maybe. Dun 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 dun. Captain Jack Sparrow. You never get any of the people that are flipping through the deal, and you often wonder if your logo's not flipping through or hasn't flipped through in the past. When the game first came out, you'd see people on, and you could catch people on. Back then, it didn't matter about trophies. You may have low trophies, 150 trophies, 50, and play somebody that's maxed out. Okay, you can definitely get over there, especially with that kind of wind. But even without that kind of wind, you can definitely get over there. So I'm going to take the shot, the other shot. Four rings out. 4 rings. Let's put some spin. Hit it 1 ring great on the inside, 1 ring great to the right. That could be problematic. Right. That was close. That was close. That shot should be set up 4.5 rings out. If you got a maxed out rock and it's got more curl. So if you don't have a maxed out rock, you're looking at like 3, maybe 3 1/4 rings. You'll have to work it for whatever club, and you can use a quarterback there. At that point, a quarterback might work better because a quarterback might have more curl. So whichever has more curl in your bag, that's the one. And you can set that up so it's just a setup shot. You're 3.5, 3.25, 3 rings off. In my case, 4.5 rings. Max top spin, maximum right hand side spin. And if you hit it great to the left, it'll just barely stay on, but you can recover from down there. And if you hit it great to the right, it should clear. Okay, we're taking 10% off, so I'm going to do a 3 ring pull. I want to pull back to the +6. So I'm going to do a 3 ring pull. Just 3 rings. Let's hit it perfect. Oh, and hit it great to the right. It will not go in. I think a perfect would have missed. I know that it's uphill, and I know in the past we started using negative numbers and started sinking it on this hole, but I definitely it's hard to tell when you hit it great, but that definitely looked like it was farther than 1 ring great to the right. But it's hard to tell when you're coming into a hole unless you hit it perfect. You can't really get a good read on it. Now they made it to the other side. Is that as far as they could go? There's a great rough bump from the other side. Hit it perfect in the hole. All right, we got to come out of every set having made something. So we made something in the first set. Now we're on the next set. I've got a par 3, a par 4, and a par 5. Now, I've been doing some stuff in practice where I was trying out the rough bump on one of the par 3s, and I think it's the next one. And I made a hole-in-one doing the rough bump. The first time I tried the rough bump, I made a hole-in-one on it. And the second time, but I had the wind going almost due tailwind. Let's check out hole number 4. Hole number 4. We got to go. That was just practice. Jeez. Now we got to go play it again. Now we're going to actually get the Albi on it. So let's set it up on my calculator, 0.9. What was I thinking? Okay, I'm going to try the straightforward shot, especially since we got tailwind today, so I might as well take advantage of it. If I can get an opponent. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. There we go. Thank you, John. Thanks for joining the channel. John goes first. The Goofy Golf Clan. Played a few games. 10,000. And we're getting sidewind here, pure sidewind, so we're not going to get that push that we were getting in the practice with the 5-mile-an-hour tailwind. They're using a Kingmaker, and they just made it over. All right, we're switching from a Kingmaker to a Berserker, and we're switching from number 1 to number 2. Okay, 4-3. It's 2.1 per ring, so I'm going to do a little bit of an overpull. About a 10%. Hitting it perfect. Let's See if we can make it all the way over, or if we clip the rough. Clip the rough. But we did get a little bit more forward moving distance than my opponent. Now we should be lined up for a pretty good rough bump right there. Not sure how much topspin in this bag. I'm not sure what my opponent's in their sniper. And they just checked their red line and I wasn't paying attention. So I'm in at least sniper. See if my opponent can get it. They hit it great to the left. At least a ring. Alright, I'm in sniper. There's max. There's min. So I'm in minimum club. So times 5 equals divided by 1.3. It's 3.5 rings. .5 rings. There's 3.5. Hitting it perfect. I took 10% off on that. We'll see if it had us enough gas to get up there. I was afraid because I was tried to move it forward and the ball guide shot off the other side. There's a spot, there's got to be a spot out there where you can get the ball guide to go just a little, because it's going uphill. You need to have it going just a little through the cup. There's probably a better spot out there. I could move it around and use some side spin and find a better spot. In the hole. All right, eagle. No Albie for me. Hole number 4. Let's go check out hole number 4. Hole number 4. All right. Now, there is a rough bump on this one, and really, for me, if the wind's blowing like this along that rough in either direction, you're good to go. Anything that's on this side of the line, even if you have to pull out into the fairway, you can still work it. But if you got anything coming from this direction where you have to involve that sand, I'm not sure I'm interested in that. I'm going to take I think there's a bounce over shot, and I think that's the shot I'm going to take. And I know you can start off on the other side as well. Not sure. I'm going to take a quasar just because I want a little more side spin. My normal bag will do just fine. My number 1 bag. Until you get really even at an APOC 6. APOC 6, there's a lot of times in tournament play where like you could pull out the APOC 6 and you could play with it day to day, no problem. But there's a lot of times where that extra ball guide on an extra mile, especially if you're setting shots up, and as often as I can, I'm trying to get more in the habit with the bigger clubs too, of always pulling back, trying to set the shots up so that I'm pulling back. If it starts at plus 16, I'm trying to like pull it back to, give myself a couple rings of distance. All right, I got no notes on this hole, but I know we were doing a little bit of just a little. It's one of those holes, 4-4. I'm going to do a 10%. I mean, it's way the hell downhill, so I'm going to do at least a 10. There's 4, 5. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. Didn't pull it quite enough. Making some notes here. I used a quasar. And I'm going to do plus 15 on there the next time. We'll see how that works. I'm going to do that bounce over. I think the deal is I really would like to do the rough bump there, and I think that rough bump, especially with the way the wind's blowing today, because if you make a wrong adjustment on it, it's not going to kill you, but if you have to pull over that sand, it could be problematic. I want to have this shot in my bag. For show. See if they can hit it perfect. Perfect. Il perfecto. Damn, that was close to the rough. Damn! Oh, you got robbed. Brutal. All right, I made a putt. Amazing. As bad as I am at putting, I made one. I remember when I first started playing, I'd get up in the morning and like sometime within the first 5 or 6 matches, I'd miss a putt. Make the putt, force a shootout or win. Hole number 5. Here we go. All right. These last two par 4s we've got to get. So we've got to get this hole. So what's the wind blowing like? We're getting favorable wind. I'm taking an extra mile, and I'm taking a par 5 ball. I think you can get this done. We'll see. Here we go. Qualification. No practice. Let's just go get it done. Let's just go get it. I think the way to go at this is to try and you can land on the island probably a lot more consistently and take the short shot in. And I'm just trying to make the shot shorter and getting greedy. I go first. Of course I go first. Come on. I want to leave about a mile of that, maybe 2 miles an hour of that in. So that'd be about 2 rings. So I'm going to move it like a ring and a quarter. I'm just going to hit it straight up. Hitting it perfect. And see if I can get bounce number 1, bounce number 2, hit the rough. Oh, and I missed the rough. That's all right. I missed the rough. I could have left maybe 3/4 of a ring of power in that wind. About 1.5 instead of 2 1/4, or instead of 2 1/4 miles per hour, 1.5. Still got a great shot from here though. All I gotta do is hit it perfect and it's in the cup. That looks bad. That looks really bad. You better hope that I make this, dude. Let's see if we can help my opponent out. Yeah, you better have your fingers crossed. I'm going to hedge my bet. I'm going to give myself a great to the right and a perfect. Isn't it perfect? In the hole. That works. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. No problem, bro. That is what I'm talking about right there. You got to get an eagle on this hole. I mean, I think there's just going to be too many people that this is going to be the hole. Those people that are at the top, in the top 10, this hole right here was a hole that they picked up a lot. Good game. Good game. Feel good about that. Picking up one in the second set. Now let's see if we can pick up another one in the second set. So we got hole number 6. Hole number 6. Another par 5. Let's check this one out. All right. Let's see which way the wind's blowing first. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a positive wind. Let's think about how we're going to play this. I'm going to play it with an extra mile and a par 4 ball. My goal is to get, if you get down, so the fairway down here runs longer to the right. So if you set up more to the right, you've got more depth in the fairway, but it puts your ball guide out like this, so you're going to have to use curl to get over. Well, your second bounce is already over, so if you can get your curl right, or you bring a ball that's got enough side spin where you're already over there, you can get down into this hole. I don't think you have to use any overpower, but maybe. I try not to focus too much on that kind of stuff. It would be nice to have a power 4 ball in reserve for the second shot, because you're really trying to get into your long iron range. Cutting the wind down a little. Could take a firework ball. I got 4 of those. I'm going to use an open. We'll take a 4 power ball. Open up a chest. Clear out a slot. Never want to play without being able to win a chest. Once again, gems are the hard currency in this game, and I know. Especially when you first start. It's like a lot of games you can play for, but there's a lot of times if you want to just play and you don't have any gems, you're just playing for the experience. But if you're playing, you really want to be working on your clubs. I'm just a messenger, man. I think most people that play these types of games, not everybody, but a lot of people came from another game where they understand the whole economics. I'm going to aim towards that fairway transition. 3-3. I'm going to overpull just a little. We'll put a little bit of curl on it to bring it back to the fairway. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if we can get my second bounce. Bounce number 1. Bounce number 2. Almost over curled it, and I left a lot of distance out there. Probably a great hole for one of those 3 power 2 topspin boosts. You might actually net more. You can take it from the top of the hill with a big topper. The problem with the big topper, and the big topper works great on this hole, you can get way in the hell down there. The problem with the big topper is the second bounce is before the shoot. So your second bounce is going to be in this area because it doesn't have as much raw distance. And so by getting deeper over on the right hand side, like they're pulled up from their red line, they're at plus 14 and it's plus 16, so they're back from the red line. So if they hit it perfect. If you're bouncing before that gap or in that gap, you definitely want to hit perfect. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, this is hole number 6. I'm doing 1.2 times the wind. I'm doing a 20% wind adjustment. I have no idea why. That's just what my notes were from the last time I played. So I'm going to try it out. There's max. So I'm about max club. I'm going to pull back just a little. Be more towards mid. .44 rings. Here's 4, 4. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I get even close. Just a bit outside. Didn't pull it enough. Didn't pull it enough. And even though I was at mid club, by pulling it back there, I still pulled 1 per ring. I still pulled a max number, so even on top of the 20%, I'd already added on another 10. See if my opponent can get in with the sniper. I'll be quiet for him. I'll be nice and quiet. I got the little quiet sign out. Close. Nice on. In the hole. All right, eagle. All right, we picked up something in the first 3, the first set. We picked up something in the second set. Now we got to come pick up something in the last set, and the par 4 is screaming to be picked up. The par 4 is definitely makeable. I think hole number 9 and me have a history, so if I can make it, I'm going for the shot through the rocks, which I've never committed to before, but I'm going to commit to that shot. But first, let's get this par 3. This par 3 right here is the one that I was doing. I did a rough bump on. Down in this area right here. Going straight at the cup and made it the first time. Where the hell did it go? Hold on. Hold on. Jeez. All that just to get my draw on the screen. So I was coming in. I did a rough bump in this area coming at the hole. And the wind was blowing like this. So I did it plus 10%. And you're way in the hell down the hill. And it went, and it was real close to the front. And went in the hole. So the next time I came here, the wind was blowing like this, and I did a 10%, and I ended up clipping the fairway and went forward. So I think I obviously, if I want to do the rough bump, got to do more than 10%. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. I think there's a shot going from the other side. You could bring a backspin club there and just go for it. Which way's the wind blowing? We got forward moving wind. We got the same kind of wind that I had, so I'm going to up my percentage to like a 20% and take Grizzly and a Navigator. Let's cut the wind down a little. Grizzly and a Nav. That's all I need. And I'm going to commit to the 20% to the cup. The 10% worked with this kind of wind, but it didn't work. And it was like drastically off, and it barely worked with this. I got a hole in one, but I just barely clipped the rough. Where I can see my tip. So 3.2, it's 3.84 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. That might help. There's 3.84. Hit it one ring great to the right, or excuse me, left. Ooh, and missed the fairway. Even with a 20%, missed the fairway. That's not good. So where I was set up out there, hitting it great to the left shouldn't have killed me on the rough. It is a little teeny bit shorter, I think, on the left. But that definitely wasn't enough of a pull. For sure. Now, this is definitely the safe shot from going on the island, going over. But I think there is a serious hole-in-one opportunity here. You got just enough topspin if you got a upper developed grizzly to get there. Just got to make this shot and get back on track. We got to recover right here. This could be the shot of the round right here. Dinking around on this hole trying to figure it out. I haven't played that rough bump before. I'm pretty sure I've played off the island. Or I've gone straight at it. From this distance, wind might play a factor. I'm going to stay on the outside of the cup. It's kind of hedging my bet. If the wind's not a factor, I could make a perfect and a great to the right. Hit it great to the left. My only hope here is that the slope got involved and dropped me into the cup. that was very little wind effect. And it sloped down to the left, or down to the right. Woo! Recovery. Saved my round. I'll take it. Birdie. That's what you get. That's what I get for not going and practicing that hole. Like, you're like, hey, dude, you can go practice now. What were you thinking, just going out there and qualifying it? Should have went and practiced it. All right, I'm going to look at this hole. Hole number 8. This is a critical hole. We have an opportunity here. And there is an opportunity to go over. And I've been like trying to land on this. And I've actually had limited success trying to get the bounces right to get over here, where I'm doing a rough bump and I'm just bleeding out. But you can make it over to the other side. And these two shots in here aren't bad. So screw it. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Like, I'm not messing around. I think you can do this with a power 3 ball. I think I'm going to have to take a bigger ball. I'm going to start out with a power 5, and let's see. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. We'll figure it out on the course. Hey, go to the right one. Let's take a berserker. Let's start with a berserker, and if I don't like that, then we'll change it. Off we go. Hole number 8. All right. Let's get over. You got to get bounce, diddy, bounce, diddy, bounce. You've got to hit each fairway pad in order to clip the last bit of rough and roll out on the green side. I don't think between the third and the fourth bounce that the fourth bounce is long enough to get you over so that you roll out onto the green. Anywhere down there is good, but obviously if we can get on the green side and be on the fairway, it's better. And with a power 3 ball, your red line with a extra mile is like right in here. And you can get, with 6 topspin, you can do the bounce on the bottom, hit the rough, bleed out into this fairway pad, and then you just have a rapier shot going in, or whatever your wedge is. Or you can do a Hail Mary, and you just throw it down there and hope that you pop out good on the other side. My opponent's got a good trajectory. They got a hit. Nope. And there's nothing wrong with that spot. That's a great spot from right there, but I'd like to be on the other side. I'm going to leave the wind in. I'm going to work the side wind out, and then I'm going to put the forward moving wind back in. Isn't it perfect? And let's see if we can get bounce number 1. We got to clear all the way to the second one. Bounce number 2, there we go. And I barely cleared that second one. And I was right on the edge. What happened was I hit so far forward on the first fairway that I hit on the downhill. And when it took that bounce, it took a flat bounce. It didn't get any loft to it. Now, I had a recovery shot, and now we might have a redemption shot. Because we got to pick up something in every set. And we really need to pick up one more than that. I mean, I think the 30. Nice shot. That works. That works, bro. But we still got some work to get done right here. Right here. Still need to hit it perfect. Hit it one ring great to the right. In the hole. I never know on those holes. If you're close enough that it should go in. If you hit it great, one ring great to the left or the right, it should still go in. But some of those holes, it doesn't quite. And I've had a couple times in the past where I've got a glitch with a berserker. And when it rolls out, it rolls different than what it normally does. Excellent. Had a recovery shot. And then had a redemption shot. There we go. Those 2 par 3s. The 3 par 3s. Picking up the eagle on all 3 of the par 4s. All right, let's see if we can get across the rocks now. All right. First, let's see which way the wind's blowing. Oh, that wind sucks. There's a couple ways to play this hole, and what I think most people do when they play this hole is they hit through the rocks. So they're coming out into this zone right here, depending on ball how deep you can get. Ideally, if you bring out a bigger ball, what can happen is that you can start off more in the pocket. So you're more to the right, and the more you are to the right, while from the first bounce to the second bounce is longer, you can get the trajectory so you can get more forward distance out here and miss this hazard. So bringing out a bigger power ball, and I think the wind is blowing like in this direction, so that's not super helping us. Probably maybe a little bit of headwind. But if you can get out into this area, your sniper going in. The other way to go at it would be to land on the island and go forward, but that's problematic because with a 5 Powerball, you got a window right here with a Cataclysm. I thought it was a 3, but it's actually a 5. You got a little bit of a window over here with your Cataclysm and Big Dog, and with any kind of wind going in this direction, that's going to hurt that shot a lot. I'm going to go for the straightforward. I'm going to commit this week on this tournament to go straightforward because I've never done that before and I've had my issues with this hole. So let's set up a bag. I lost a tournament on this hole where all I had to do was go out and get an eagle and bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And went out and tanked this hole and got a par on it. And went from a winning score to not a winning score. Standalone winner. The deal is I can blame it on this hole because this hole is what killed me. I mean, I was there. You could see what the scores were. I had made it to the top of the leaderboard. And if you watch my stuff on a regular basis, I never look. So I don't know until the end. But there was that first par 3 had caused me a couple issues in there. And I had struggled on that hole all week and hadn't failed on this hole at all. Yeah, that's a shit wind. I'm going to bring a power 4 ball. And the reason I'm going to bring a power 4 ball is so that I have a little bit of room against my red line. Let's take the side wind out. And hit it like 2 rings great to the left. And made it over to the other side. If you put too much curl on there, though, you're lengthening out the bounce, the second bounce coming out of the rocks, and you can get caught up there in the rough. And if I'd have hit it perfect, you've got to hit it farther. My opponent's got a 3 power ball and the wind's pushing him off on that side. I think the 5 power, the thing with the 5 power is that you could overpower, like if you do a max overpower shot, you may actually overpower it. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. That should be nice. They got a nice loft. They're going to end up in the sand on the other side. Now you can recover from there. That's the thing about making it over to that side is you can recover. You got a serious sniper shot coming in. Max club. I'm going to pull back to +8. And you can get right down on it. I'm just going to do a normal adjustment. Just 2/8. I'm going to dick around. I'm not sure, because I just started doing this shot. I'm not sure exactly what to do, so I'm just going to do the 2/8. There's 2/8. Hitting it perfect. See what kind of read we can get. Definitely did not pull it enough. I'm going to start off at +20 and we'll see. We'll see if that's enough. And I was a little short in distance. But if I'd have hit it, if I'd have made the pull against the wind, I would have been on the greenest sloped. I would have been, and it's steeper on the left-hand side. So I would have been more to the left and it might have rolled out a little bit more. So it's hard to tell right now at distance. You are going downhill. It might be one of those greens, and I've seen this in the real world, where even though the green's going downhill and you think the ball's going to go a mile, they cut the green against the green so that if you're going down the hill, it stops your ball. And I've seen them where they cut it the other way and make it so it slides down that hill at about 1 billion miles an hour. All right. Coming in with a 15. Picking up all 3 of the par 4s. Putting myself in a spot. I think I got a serious chance on the second par 3, or the first par 3, hole number 2. You got a serious opportunity there. I think if you can get over on hole number 9, I think on all 3 of these par 5s, you got an awesome opportunity for Albie. I am going to work out that rough bump on that one hole. I may practice a little bit tonight when I'm done here and try and get that hole, force some shootouts. It always freaks opponents out when you miss a tank of putts so they can catch up, so you can force the shootout. Trying to pick up the holes that you're looking for. See if my opponent can get in. They hit it great to the right. I don't think that's good. That's great to the right. I'm not going to say anything because they're already throwing their phone. All right. Let's see where that puts me. So minus 15. I really think that the way that this tournament's going to work is just like the last holes that we played. It's going to be 15 is going to set you up. So like there's going to be a stock of people at 15 probably dominating the top 10. And then it's going to be the 2, 3, 4 players that actually broke 30 in order to go for a banner. So I think you might be and you might get lucky and be in one of those brackets where a 30 will win. But I think in most brackets it's going to take better than a 30. Faux show. Let's see where we ended up. Tied at number 2 with a 16 at the top. Look at that. And what's it take to qualify? 12 right now. We got one person at 12. Let's see. We got anybody? We got somebody who's played 7 and they're at 10. So if they just finish out birdie eagle, they're at 13. That could knock them out. What they got here? 2 birdies or 3 eagles. What's this person got that separated them? They got that Albie tiebreaker. And they got an Albie on hole number 9. Still one player that hasn't played yet. So it looks like it potentially could be minus 13 or better to qualify. So you're going to have to pick up at least 1. All right, there you go. That is the Deep Sea 9-hole cup. That's all of the Drew Moore Links holes, 1 through 9. Not a bad look at them. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great time in the tournament, and I'll catch you next time.